So this is session 8 of Mutineer Zero. We're out in the zone. Our crew went out there last time. We're going to take up with that in just a minute because things are about to go sideways. And we'll see whether people live or don't live, or whether bad things happen, or whether people run away. But I'll come back to exactly what that is. I want to have everybody give a quick pitch on who they are. Sherry, let's start with you.
Okay, my character's name is Neko. She's a gearhead. She likes to poke at stuff. She likes to help people out, except she tries to pretend like she doesn't care that much. And basically, once again, her friends have gotten her into a lot of trouble. And that sounds awesome.
Excellent. And it is you are driving the car that they have driven out and around and about into this area. We'll come back to exactly why you've come out here in a second. Syntax, why don't you give us the quick pitch on your character?
Syntax is a stalker who recently got attached to 2 people that were recovered from the zone and turned a new leaf, kind of. They're still pretty angry, but but when it comes to those 2, she's very nice. Otherwise, she will mess you up, and she has a sword. That's about it.
Excellent. And then Obakai?
I'm playing Obakai. They are a giant crocodile person. They, them pronouns. They are one of the most obviously mutated people in the Ark. They're all about fighting the status quo and looking for a better future outside of the walls of the Ark. They have recently acquired a nice set of hockey pads and a red wig, so that everyone can add that to their mental picture of this giant crocodile person, and a scrap axe. So that's kind of how they do their thing.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd forgotten about the wig. It's such a trendsetter moment there. And then we also have Electra, the boss.
Yeah, she's a boss of a small gang that was recently attacked, and the previous ruler and her close friend Ray-chan was killed, and she's been kind of looking around for more information. Among his things, she found hidden away these maps, which is kind of what led us out here into the waste to kind of find out what is out here that he'd hidden away. And she's got, her gang with her as well, brought them all out here to, provide support and humor us. She got her second in command, Rexy, Arth, Kyra, Tendon, and everybody's favorite, Gaffel.
Gaffel is back at the car. When there is trouble, Gaffel is exactly where it is not, if at all possible. So that is Gaffel.
At least keeping Nico company if need be.
Yes. So as you mentioned, it was the fact that you had found these maps from your predecessor. You brought them to Victoria, and Victoria agreed to help support this mission, called in some of her people, called in another stalker, a friend of actually someone who knew Syntax. The other stalker's name, just for your reference, is Denko Syntax, and he actually had been kind of watching over Bareth and Bera, and keeping an eye on them. So the group gathered together. There was an agreement struck there. To head it out, there were some adventures. There were some things found. There were some places avoided. And I will pull up the map of the region real quick, so we can kind of identify where we're at. We are on the map here, actually in this first green box there. And essentially, it is is what we're calling a giant sphere. I'll pull up that image again. So what they've come onto is a facility that is a giant sphere. They were able to observe and realize that it was some kind of dome with seats inside of it. There were all kinds of ceremonial things set up outside, clearly warning people away. Lots of these green outfits on these things with weird symbology on them, kind of spread out all over. They had approached this place and realized it was probably a ritual site, but they also, as they scouted around the area, found that on the far side, where there are those towers, sort of pillars on the inside, there are a group of raiders who were essentially positioning themselves to go in and assault the place. The group discussed how they wanted to handle this. Particularly difficult now because it is pouring rain. Rain is coming down. It is coming down everywhere. They looked around. They found a couple of other key elements. One is that there's some kind of structure up on the mid side of the dome. Looks like maybe somebody who can fly has built something up there. They also discovered that there was evidence that there is some kind of protection or security here. They saw some evidence of that something significant had fought off intruders before. So they looked at the situation, examined it, and decided that the best course of action would be to try and talk with these people, perhaps warn them that these raiders were coming and use that to their advantage. And so our boss, Electra, with a couple of her people, went into the facility and made their way in and didn't do a great job of kind of getting in there right. Realized that, in fact, the whole place, all of these seats that are wrap around this, these thousands of seats, are all filled with skeletons. It's just a mausoleum of the dead. But in the center of this place are a group of people that have sort of ritual outfits and masks and things like that, and they're doing this big ceremony. They're clearly doing some kind of invocation, and they seem to be occupied with that. But the situation has changed somewhat because our Electra has heard the sound of gunfire, and clearly the raiders are now assaulting this place. So I know where you are, Electra, and I'm going to come back to you in just a sec. Remind me where you are, NEKO.
I have pulled the car up into some cover. It is parked near the entrance that Electra went in. And I figure that I'm a raid out there with Obakaya for the time that we need to run in. Obakai.
Okay.
So,
and that's where you are, Obakai, as well, kind of set and ready?
Yep.
Okay. So let me ask you, Syntax, what is the thing that sort of made you kind of recognize the tracks and identify it as the tracks of your friends?
Well, I bet
friends.
I bet that. Obakai has very distinctive footprints. Yeah.
That seems fair. That combined with the tire tracks. So you would be approaching up. You would see that they've got this car parked undercover close by the entrance to this place. It's the rain is coming down. You can make your way up to them without essentially anybody jumping you and getting shot or shooting you. And so in a second, I'm going to bring you together on that. And probably in the distance, even over the sound of the rain, because imagine that rain is coming down on that dome. And so a lot of what you're hearing is that sort of reverberative thunder that's hitting the sides of that. And then that echo is coming up all over the place. Now, I'm going to cut then to Electra. Electra, you're in one of these sort of concrete ramp walkways that goes up into the sort of the floor of the place. You've heard the sound of that gunfire. There's water coming in. What do you want to do?
So I seem pretty exposed out here.
A little.
Between the raiders and the people in the middle of this thing, are either of those groups like especially focused on me right now? Because the raiders are focused on the people in the middle. Are the people in the middle more? I mean, I caught their attention, and I know they didn't seem too happy about me being there. But they were probably
I think there were probably a couple of these. I'm going to call them cultists, for the lack of a better term. With these green shirts and these weird triangular headdresses on. And they are, a couple of them are probably moving over to intercept you to find out what's going on when they hear that gunfire. And they're caught between deciding, okay, is this an intruder, or, okay, what's going on the other side? So you have an opening here.
I think I'm going to use that opening. I mean, how far am I from being back through the door and out of here?
You could do a move and get the hell out if you wanted to without any problem.
I think that's my first impulse here, is to get out of the situation. It's gotten hot a little bit quicker than I expected.
Then I am going to say I'm going to have you make a move roll.
Actually,
yes.
Is there some kind? Is there like a read a sitch kind of skill on this? Would that be like a know the zone or a comprehend? Is there any more info that I can like pick up here?
Oh, that's a really good question. So we've got a couple of skills that you could justify that with. One of them is scout, but the other one is I would let you do sense of motion.
Okay. Let's go
ahead. Or even know the zone. Any one of those, I think I could do a case for.
Right. I'm pretty even on know the zone and sense emotion. I think I'm more interested in like figuring out what the hell these people are up to in the middle of here. I don't know if that seems more like one or the other to you.
Let's do know the zone then.
All right. And do you have? Oh, here's the dice syntax.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, the joy of the die roller.
0, and it goes. Is it skill first or?
It is skill first. Okay. Because that makes no sense.
That's hard to remember because you're trying to remember what's the opposite of what makes sense, and you can't even remember that anymore. Okay.
Hey, Lo, I wanted to clarify. Last time you said there was like 1,200 seats, most of them with skeletons. Is it that big of an arena?
Yeah, it's a huge arena.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to get the mental picture.
Okay. Can't remember how to read these, but it looks promising. There's a green one and none that look bad.
So you don't succeed at this. Now, you don't take any damage either. So what do you want to do? Do you want to push it, or do you want to stick with what you've got?
Yeah, I'll push it.
Okay, go ahead and hit that one. One success, no damage.
All right.
So what's the most important thing you want to know here?
I want to know about the cultists at the center. The raiders seem more or less straightforward to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are these cultists like? What is it that what's so important about what they're doing, to at least to them? Like, what's the big deal for them about this place?
So you have had a chance to walk around the ritual site here, and it reminds you of at least one of the bosses who got killed off a couple of years ago, who had really made up a cult about things that she found on the boat, like kind of a cargo cult thing, where she had pulled things together and said they were significant and gotten her followers to follow these rituals. And that woman at the center, with the upraised arms and the mask, and she's got this like like a pillar with like a golden one of the golden ovals on top of it that she's raised up, and there are these people, cultists. There's clearly that belief that they need to do this to preserve this place or to keep things from going worse. That sense of kind of they are the ones to protect.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes enough sense to me.
I'll give you one follow-up question on that.
What here is useful or valuable to me?
Well, one of the things is that they're all out there in the center. There's clearly a larger part of this complex that is around and about. There are more walkways and things and stuff underneath those bleachers and things. So they might have some living quarters and such that you could raid if you wanted to while they're distracted by this attack.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so tell me how Syntax presents himself. Obviously, we'll say that one of the people that have been left behind, one of the boss people, there kind of turns and sees you and recognizes you. So they'll go, "Oh, hey, it's the other, it's that Syntax lady."
Who is doing that? The people back in the car?
Yeah, you see these couple of people. You see NEKO and you see Obi, but there's a couple other people who look like sort of gang members that are there as well. And one of them recognizes you.
Okay. I say, "Hey, Eddie KO," and then I look at the other guy and I say, "Hey, hop along."
No, it's not hop along. It's Tendon. My name is Tendon. Not hop along.
I beg to differ.
And it gets that moment of existential crisis there when you say that, because the world is weird. So
yeah, he can ponder that. I lean against the car really nonchalantly, and I say, "What's new, kids?"
Hey, Electra's in there, and she's introducing herself. Wonder how it's going. Oh, that doesn't sound good, does it?
Sounds about right.
I guess we better go take a look. All right. And I guess she'll go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So gather yourself together. Now, do you want to try and sneak in, or are you just moving in?
I will try to sneak in. I'm not saying I'm awesome at it, but I will attempt it.
Okay. Then let's have you make a sneak check.
Oh.
I think you're leading a group action. I'll try not to stress you out.
Yes.
Seems reasonable. Let's see here.
It's pretty easy to do. So if you get a success, we'll consider that a success for the group.
Okay.
And you can explain how you cover from my non-stealthy self.
Okay.
Chomp, chomp.
Okay, here it goes. This is going to be awesome beyond belief.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Did it work?
Not yet.
What? Okay,
There we go.
try it again. 1. Oh, it did.
You go
Okay.
ahead and get through. So you got one
Okay,
success.
got the success. Yes.
Don't want to push that one.
I'll take it.
So you will sneak up, make your way up. You can see Electra and probably has, I think, probably Rexy with you, right? And they've kind of stepped back to some cover. You can see that there's some people scattering in the arena there and taking positions and dodging. And it looks like you can see on the far side of that floor there, these raiders are now switching to bows and arrows not wanting to waste too many bullets, but they've clearly killed a couple of these cultists. So you four can assemble together and decide on how you want to proceed. You've got some room for action here.
Well, we saw that something nasty was used, right? Am I seeing any of the cultists moving towards some fixture or equipment? I'm looking around to see what it could be.
You definitely see the cultist leader, the woman with the great trophy that she was carrying, and the half-painted face, with some of the cultists kind of covering her, and she's running very deliberately over towards what looks like a more kind of built-up section, like maybe there's some kind of offices or something that's been established there.
Okay. So their attention is all towards the raiders, right?
Yeah, they're trying to scatter because they were kind of out in the open.
Okay. Well, I can see where they're going. I sort of look at those guys and go, are we going to wait and then try to mop up? Or are we going to try to help the people from here?
I don't know if these are people we want to help. I mean, they're pretty defensive, not exactly friendly as far as I can tell. But while they're busy up here, we could poke around the rest of this complex, see what we can find.
Okay.
What did these people do to show you that they're not friendly?
Well, they were ready to start shooting. Fortunately, those friendly people on the other side intervened on my behalf.
Well, I suppose if they were going to shoot you, then it's not a very welcoming gesture.
These people are a little strange, I think.
So, Lo, I have a question. You said there's a bunch of seats here?
Yeah, so imagine that we've got that floor of the arena that people are scattering out from, and then there are these bleachers in a sort of round, and there are all these plastic seats filled with skeletal bodies.
Any seats that that don't have a body in it, like you could sit there and sort of blend in until everything's over?
You could certainly do a sneak check to hide amongst the corpses.
Well, they're past being corpses, aren't they? They're just mere fixtures at this point.
That is true.
Okay. So, all right, then. She's like, well, we can take a seat and wait, or we can be more active.
Active.
These people were performing some kind of rite. It seems wrong to let them all be slaughtered.
Okay.
If you want to save them, be my guest, but there's no guarantee they'll appreciate the gesture. If we're going to, though, I would suggest we maybe try to loop around the other side of these raiders.
The less raiders there are in the world, the better. I don't think we should charge now, but I think we should set up a flank.
Yeah, if we're going to take them on, flank them so that we take them on from both sides.
And if the fight is going too well for them, we still have an out.
So we're flanking the raiders. I just want to get this straight.
Yeah, the raiders, not the cultists.
Okay.
Or as I will call them, the interfaith.
They're Unitarians, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I was raised Unitarian, so I can make that joke. Anyway, so I think that in order to do this, I don't think it's an issue of sneak. I think it's actually going to be an issue of move to guide for someone to kind of lead the group to get into position for the best sort of strategic area, to climb over things, to evade stuff, to not make noise. Does that seem reasonable?
I think so.
And people can assist if they have move as an action. So who wants to be the primary roller for that?
Oh, it looks like I have enough XP to level as well.
Oh.
I have 4 dice in move, but I could help, so it might be better if someone else rolls.
Move is agility.
I have move and I have 5 dice, so.
I have a lot of move because I just spent experience in it.
Awesome. So why don't you do it and I'll support?
Yeah,
Okay.
2 helping dice, I think.
Yeah.
I
So
have
2 people can help.
I have 7 and then 2 dice.
Yeah.
To help.
Those are done as skill dice.
Let's see. Right. So it'll be. I have 2 skills, so 4, right?
Yep.
Cool. And 5 agility, I think. Yep. And I don't have any gear, so let's see what happens. 1.
One success. So
1 success and it hurt.
so what is it? How do you hurt yourself in this process? What happens?
Oh, I think it's like Blades of the Dark Stress. Like
Okay.
I think Obi is like about to step on a cord or something like that. That is like electrified.
It's Electra. I got the skill, dude. I got the skill. It's Electra.
Okay.
No, it can be me. It can be me. I'll take it.
In the darkness, there is a shadowy foot, of which we do not know who is.
It could be Apple. It's probably him, to be honest.
It's somebody, and they're. I think they trip on a cord, but I'm like right there, and they're not able to like fall to the floor. I like prop them up, and the camera never sees them because we're low budget at the moment.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
As you are doing that, you kids get your position, come in around through a number of doors over some rubble here. You guys have been in stadium, so you know how they got the big sort of hallways there, kind of moving past, having climbed over to like a hot dog carts and that kind of thing, and yourself into position back behind where the Raiders are kind of moving in. As you're doing that, Electra, Rexy does say to you, hey, do you want us to go and maybe see if we can go find some stuff while these guys are doing that stuff?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It makes sense to me to poke around a bit, see if you can turn anything up, especially anything that Rajon might have been interested in. I mean, it still doesn't make sense to me why you would have been interested in this place.
Okay. Tendon and I'll sneak off.
Go for it.
Okay. And Gaffel says, I'll stay with you, bodyguard.
Perfect.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
That kind of thing. Okay. And so you can get yourselves into position. As I mentioned, there are about 8 or 9 of these raiders. There have been some return fire on them. They are moving slowly and carefully from piece of cover to piece of cover. They're smart in their approach. You can see that there's a leader to them. When they get up to some of these cultist bodies that are laid out, in the rain is coming down, they kind of pull them over and start stripping them of, shoes, clothes, anything they have on. There's just, stripping them bare, taking what they can and just jamming it into packs. And they're being pretty cautious. The cultists have some of them have run up into the stadium stands. The leader cultist has run over to that sort of built up area, and it's just wet and messy here. So you guys are in a good position. Is there something you're waiting for or something you want to do? Tell me how this is going to work.
I might like to get in a better one by using my reptilian mutation and just stealthing up to kind of get in position for when the ranged attacks start, then I can strike.
Absolutely. Don't forget, everybody, you do start at the start of each session, you get a mutation point. So you'll have another one to spend. And if you took a point of damage, as Syntax did, you get a mutation point from that. Don't forget, from the pushing. So it's just 1 point, right, to activate that chameleon ability?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's just have you roll a d6.
6.
6. So I believe that you are fine there.
Great.
So you are making your way up. So right now, Obi does that predator chameleon vanish and moves up into position. Nikea, what about yourself? You're muted.
Someday I'll learn. Someday. Okay, so I'm trying to get a sight on what it is they're after, if anything. You say they're being real cautious, but does it look like they're moving towards something?
So what it is you kind of come up through one of those like entry hallways onto the floor of the arena, and they're this seems to be sort of a standard game plan for them. Eliminate resistance, move up carefully, take what they can. Doesn't seem to you like they're looking for anything in particular, except that this place is clearly, probably got some cool stuff in it. So they're not moving fast forward because they want to assess where the good shit might be.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of in the same position they are. So then all I need to do is get behind them. I will look for the people that are holding back in their group then.
Okay.
So that I can truly flank them as opposed to mid-flank them.
Yeah. They probably have a couple of their people who are holding the rear right now, but with the darkness and the haze here, very hard to see. Syntax, what about you? What are you doing?
I think I'm sticking close to any KO.
Do you have your sword out, your bow? What do you?
My bow. I'm gonna Last of Us people.
Okay.
Yep.
And Electra, what about you?
Well, if nobody else will, I'll start this shit show off.
Okay.
There's two guys kind of towards the back, the sort of rear guard. I will run up to one of them and hit him with a baseball bat in the head if I can land it.
Absolutely. Then I think that is going to be a fight roll as you pop up out of nowhere.
I'm counting on everybody to back me up once I've got their attention.
When this all starts off, I'd like to be in position near the mustachioed leader, and I'd like to try and take him out if I can.
Okay, well, we'll come to your action in just a second. Let's resolve his first.
So
Of course, yeah.
For the weapon, is that a bonus on this roll for that gear die?
Yeah, that's in fact a gear dice bonus. It should say bonus and then damage.
Just one on the gear then.
Yep.
Okay. 2 skill, 3 is the ability, and then 1 on the gear.
So right now, if you don't push, you're going to be hitting him successfully. How much damage does that bat do?
I do not have that written down. Let me pop open the boss playbook.
Yeah, I think I probably have.
Let's see. It doesn't say in the boss playbook. That's why I don't have it.
The baseball bat actually has two gear dice, and it does 1 damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless it's a bat with spikes.
It is spike bat. Yeah.
Then it is 2 damage that it does. So you rush up and you catch this first guy and hit him hard, and he staggers back. He's not out, but he does stagger back away from that. So we haven't gone to initiative order, so we won't worry about that for just this second. Obi, you have moved your way into the group, and now you want to strike their leader.
I would like to do this, yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your fight roll.
I've just taken the talent weapon specialist, which gives me a +2 modification when I use this weapon. Does that go into the skill dice or the gear dice?
It always goes into skill dice for the bonus dice.
Okay, thank you. However, the bonus that you get for the weapon itself, does that also go into skill dice?
Yeah, the bonus dice for that goes into gear.
Okay, great. Wow, that sucks. But I succeed.
All right. So 1 success. So what's the weapon damage from that?
The weapon damage is... Sorry. It is 3.
Okay.
And what happens with the gear die there? I rolled a 1 on that.
Okay. If you had pushed the roll,
Right.
then it would have broken the weapon there.
Cool.
So you catch this guy. He has some reinforced plating on it, and the axe doesn't bite nearly as much as you wanted it to. But you do hit him and kind of send him forward. He is not down.
Okay.
At that point, let's have NEKO tell me what she's doing.
I think that I am going to try to finish off the guy that Electra hit. So I'll use my nail gun, which gives me short range, I think. So that should be sufficient. So I'm going to try that.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Okay. Let's see here. Sorry. Well, that's weird.
I think you must have put zeros in there because it's not showing any dice. So
I did not do that, but that is fine. I will try again. How's that? 3.
Oh, 3 successes. So what do you want to do with your extra successes there?
What are my options? I think this is the first time we've had a blow with a weapon where there were extra successes. So,
well, obviously, doing an additional point of damage is a possibility. You can also, if we were in a situation where you were worried about fatiguing them, you could do that.
Okay.
You could increase your initiative next turn. You could knock something from them. You could knock them over. Those are the options that you have.
So I'm going to do damage until they're dead.
Okay.
And then is there anything left over?
So you can keep one of those successes for initiative.
All right, I will do that.
So you hit Electra, you hit this guy with the bat. He turns and then he sprouts a nail from his eye and drops to the ground.
I have to mark off a nail.
Yes, you do. Syntax. Last of Us. Okay. Let's have you roll it.
Okie dokie. So that is shoot 2. Shoot is agility. And bow is 1. Ha.
So that will hit. How much damage does that do?
Oh, I think it's 1. Yeah, just 1.
Just 1. So you will actually fire that, and it will hit this guy in his armor with the 6 there. Essentially, you'd land the bow shot there. And now we're actually going to go to initiative.
I say, son of a nutcracker.
So you're going to be rolling a d6, add your agility value, plus if you have any talents that increase that, and Sherry, you're going to add +2 to yours. You can do that.
So it's 1d6 plus these values?
Yep.
Okay.
And since I'm fatigued, I use the 4 to 5, right?
That is correct.
Oh, I rolled a good one for once in my life. This guy's going to pay for having armor.
Oh, yeah, look at me.
Oh, no. That seems fake.
That fake initiatives.
Yeah.
You just pasted that in there.
That's what his initiative is in America. Now roll for Canada. Because that's where we are.
Oh, that's right. I got to roll metric initiative, right?
Exactly. You just need to convert it. That's why mine are always lower.
Sherry, what was your initiative total?
It was a beer 9.
9. And Syntax?
10.
And Obi?
Also 10, but I believe Syntax has higher base agility.
Okay. And then what about Electra?
4. Woo!
Okay. So it's going to be
Electra's the new Syntax.
2.
Maybe the least noble character shouldn't have dived in.
Syntax, you're going to start us off.
Ooh. That guy really bugged me, so I'm going to zoom at him with my insectoid wing action and stabby stab him with my katana.
So if you spend that mutation point, you can get right up on him with no problem.
I do it.
Okay.
There's
Just
like
roll
a
roll me D6.
puff of smoke in the air as it careens off the ground, and I go shooting towards this dude. Unless I roll poorly.
Well, we'll see. Roll 1d6 to see if your mutation freaks out. You're fine. Look at that.
In fact, I get a new mutation for free.
Do you want one? I'll subtract some of your stats.
No, that's what a 6 is for, to bypass that.
No. It's an entirely different game you're thinking of.
Yeah. That's
so go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. Fight is 2. And my fight. At least I'm not damaged. And katana gives me 2. Ah! Oh, jeez. Yeah, rolling like usual.
So what goes wrong?
Maybe the guy's armor even more. I just can't get an open spot. He's skilled.
Yeah, he kind of rolls out of the way, puts his shoulder, kind of knocks you to the side there, and your blow is deflected. Obi, what's your base agility?
It is 3.
Okay, so the Grey Caps go. Let's see here. I'm going to say that half of them have to kind of keep their position there. So this guy who is by you, we'll start with that Syntax. He is essentially going to try to hit you with his scrap club here. That we'll see if he can do some damage with that. Let me grab the roller Syntax again. If I had been a smart GM, I would have grabbed it already. So he is going to hit you for a point. Do you have any body armor?
Is it me?
Yes, Syntax.
Yeah, I do. Does it depend on where he's hitting me?
Nope, there's no hit location. Essentially, he pulls that club out, swings, and goes to hit you. If you have body armor, you can roll dice for that. Any 6s you get?
I have a hockey mask 2 armor.
Okay, then roll 2d6. If you get any 6s, you can deflect that damage.
Oh, no, of course not.
With your face.
Yeah, I know, right?
So he clocks you for a point of damage.
Okay. I look forward to when my armor works.
That is a thing with armor. It is not great. So I think we've got this leader who's just gotten hit as this lizard dude has appeared. Lizard dudette has appeared in the middle, and so he is going to shoot at you.
Right now, presenting Dudette with this fabulous wig.
Fair enough. He has confused feelings.
Or maybe he's just sad. He's like, they're so attractive, but
I must protect my people.
So do you have any body armor?
I do.
Okay. So go ahead and roll it.
So I just roll as many d6 as the armor is worth?
Yes.
I got 1-6.
1-6. So he fires that off, and one of the shots from this scrap pistol it's got 3 barrels on it. Lets loose with one of them, and it will essentially that bullet gets stuck in those hockey pads.
Yeah, where do you get that kind of armor? I want 6 armor.
We scooped it up last time. I think I lift up and it bounces off my elbow pad, and as I do that, my hair kind of tosses in the air, and it's a glorious shot.
Yeah, slow motion.
Yeah.
And a couple of these other guys are going to shoot at you.
Is that also me?
It is also you.
I am the giant crocodile person.
You are the giant crocodile person who ran into the middle of them. So,
Yes.
so there's still that many to go left. So this is the first guy. Misses. Let's see about the second guy.
I think he tries to push it.
No, they can't push it, unfortunately. So the second guy goes to stab you with the knife. You may roll armor. Get 2 wounds to negate.
Did I lose any armor from that one? Is that how that works?
No, actually, yeah. Because you're rolling armor, you rolled a 1 there. It would reduce your armor value by 1.
All right.
So you're at 5 dice now.
Another 1. 4 dice and no block.
Okay. So you take 2 points of damage, and your armor gets reduced by 1.
Oof.
So he did that. They did that. The other ones are doing that. You fired the nail gun. So I think somebody's going to take a shot at you, NEKO.
Get down.
Good.
So do you have any body armor?
Oh, guess
So
not.
you're going to take 2 points. But now, after that sort of shot and fire and stabbings have occurred, it is Obakai's turn.
All right. I'm angry. I've just been fired on, and this mustachioed man is bothering me. It's too twirly, and it's just unnatural. So I'm gonna chop it off.
Okay.
Or just his head.
Fair enough. Let's have
I'll
you
do
roll
my-
that attack roll.
All right.
Look at that. So what's your base damage with the weapon?
It is 3.
3. What do you want to use that extra success for? Take away his weapon, knock him down, do additional damage?
I think if I'm not going to take him out with this, then I probably want to knock his weapon. I guess it would just take him a maneuver and an action to pick it up and shoot it again, right? So, so then I'll just do extra damage.
Okay. So that will actually sink into him. And why don't you roll me 2d6?
4 and a 4.
4 and a 4. So let me look at that lovely chart that we almost never look at.
Yay,
Here.
charts. We're not really trad gaming until we're looking through the charts.
I know. Once I'm flipping through here. So you swing that axe around and you bring it right to his side, right into his kidney, and cuts into him, and it kind of lifts him up and sends him flying back, and he hits the ground, and he's crying out in pain. Any KO.
Um, I, I think her thing is, and it's probably never happened to her before, but she sort of almost out of instinct turns around and fires at this guy who's cried out, because it's like that kind of horrible cry of pain that, she can't take care of that. So
I will say that I won't have you roll for that.
okay.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially, that quick catch to him, even as he's struggling to kind of get up to get at Obakai, and then he'll slump back, and that cry will be stilled. Electra.
So how many of these guys do we have left to polish up right here? I mean, have the other ones probably have more of them taken notice of us yet?
Yeah, so there are probably probably 3 or 4 of them right now, that the ones that kind of fired, that are close by, that can see what's going on, that are aware, that this leader guy's down, but also that there's some dangerous Turks up here. The other ones are further ahead and have moved out, and they're kind of doing that thing where they're checking out the terrain in the arena, stripping people. So given the rain and the distance, they haven't picked up of what's going on yet.
Okay, cool. Well, the remaining ones that have noticed us, I'm going to call out to. I mean, I sent a couple people off to raid through, some, or at least to poke through the other parts of the place. I've probably got at least a couple still with me though, and I'm going to call out. What are you waiting for? Let's attack these guys. It's probably. I think is Gaffel still with us?
Yeah.
Gaffel and Kyrat maybe.
Okay.
So I want to do a command on that, because it's not my full squad, but I just be getting 1 for the skill.
So you said that you're bringing. You can always apply the full value of your squad.
Okay.
When you do something, because you're paying for the full squad, right? Oh, you're paying for two dice worth of the squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So make that command roll.
All right, and I also get another +2 when you order your gang to fight for you.
Oh yeah.
So that goes to the skill part of that, right?
Yes, it does.
So that would take me to a 4 on that, a 4 on the ability, and then 0 equipment.
8 dice.
And it still goes poorly.
Do you want to push it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh.
Is it worth keep continuing to push it?
You can't push it. The good news is, with those 2 points of damage that you take, you get 2 mutation points to power your mutant abilities.
I'm just wrecking with metal objects.
The bad news is, when your guys rush up, they are not as strong as these raiders.
Oh no!
And essentially, you see your one of your gang members. They're all excited because some people have been knocked down, and they run up on one of these raiders, and one of these raiders just kind of flips this knife back and buries it to the hilt in their neck, and kind of pulls it out.
Skipping on the exercise, and
yeah, they skipped leg day, and there's a red arterial spray in the air at that point. Okay, at the end of the round, you will all hear a. And you will see from the area where the cult leader went, where she was in there, you'll see this stuff kind of big pushed aside, and you'll see this big metal box with tracks and what looks like pincers and maybe some gun mounts start rolling out of that area.
I don't think I went though, did I?
Yeah, didn't you go very first? You were the first person to go.
Didn't.
This is the end of the round.
I went the first round, but not the second, did I?
We're not even in the second round, dude.
Oh shit. Okay.
Jesus Christ Initiative and Trad Gaming. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
The good news is it's your turn now.
Okay. Wait, but didn't
you did
I?
The archery, then you did the insect wing.
Right.
Yeah. So on the second attack, you fired a bow. And then at the top of this round, you did the insect wings and got deflected.
Okay, I want to insect wings again, but to go away. and then I don't know.
Would you like to bug out?
Yeah, I would like to bug out. And
Okay.
also, can I shoot them with my bow that way? Because I have more dice in shooting.
Absolutely. Spend that mutation point to get yourself to some safe distance.
Okay, cool.
Bugging out.
1d6.
6. You're fine.
Really? 3's
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Oh,
And now
wow.
shoot this guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll try. I do my best. Just remember that, everybody.
It's all we can hope for.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot. 2. And I'm using my bow, which gives me 1. No, I can't push that. That would be too bad.
That would be too bad.
Yeah.
The good news is you do get away. Like you fly backwards with those wings with a solid hum and get yourself out of any kind of melee range of these figures. We've got a couple of gray caps that are towards the front that are kind of freaking out, and they're kind of breaking off in a different direction to try and get to some cover as they see this behemoth come out. We've just got a couple more. A couple of them are kind of engaged with Electra's gang. So I'm going to say we've probably got just the two that are kind of close by Obi, because they don't want to turn their back on this horror show. So that and that. No. So Obi, their boss goes down. It's pouring rain. He was crying out. Then the shot comes and silences him. They turn, and they've got their bats, and they try and bring it at you and kind of spin around there in the rain, and they completely miss there. And you get to go then.
Cool. Yeah, I think my new Scrap Axe weapon specialty, I've just been practicing, and I think we just see a lot of cool deflects and stuff like that. Well, I definitely don't want to be in the way of that thing whenever it happens, whatever it does. So if I have an action to maneuver, can I attack and then try and turn and run?
Yeah. You could take a strike and then run like hell, or you could take both maneuvers to run and get the hell out of here.
No, I'm in the throes of things, and I feel like I got to show off a little bit. So
fair enough.
Probably not the wisest move, but let's do it. All right, here we go. Oh, pushing.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 damage.
1 damage to yourself, and you deal 3 damage with the 3 damage with the axe. So that will cut deep into the guy. You don't drop him completely, but he's going to be bleeding out. If he doesn't get the medical attention, he's going to bleed out. There's rot all over the place. So you sink that in, and there's probably that meaty sound as you pull the axe back, and then book.
Yeah, I try to sort of like, while I'm fighting them, I try to just sort of like give them a shove just to get some distance and then run. I know that not mechanically, but fictionally.
Fair enough. Any KO, to your surprise, it looks like Obakai and Syntax are actually performing a strategic retreat.
Holy smokes! Unprecedented! Actually, I will too, but before I do that, I would like to grab anything of value off of this leader guy that I just sent off to the long good night.
Okay. Let me think here. He's got that. If you want, I'll let you grab that scrap armor that he has on. How's that sound?
I don't see the binoculars.
Oh, that's right. So pick binoculars or scrap armor.
Binoculars.
Okay, grab the binoculars. Yoink! And
run,
take
run.
off. Okay. So let's cut to Electra.
There's some catwalks up above us, right?
Yeah, there
How
are.
many mutation points would it take to bring some of those down to kind of block our escape? I just need like one catwalk to come crashing down.
Spend 1 mutation point, and I'll let you block it so that they can't come to follow you guys.
All right, perfect.
Just roll 1d6. Don't roll a 1.
A 4.
Tell me what that looks like.
I kind of just like reach up in the air, and you hear this like it kind of groans at first, and then it groans again and comes crashing down as I run out of the way behind me, because that thing was pretty much right above me as it crashes into the seats and sends skeletons flying and crushes these seats.
Yeah, bones go shattering. They've got the noise of that behemoth as it starts to fire off some of the weapons on it. The gray cap raiders are running in all directions, and your people can pull back and run. Roll me 2d6. If you roll a 6 on either of these dice, the people that you sent out have found something for you. They come back with the things like they found a half broken Roomba, and they found some like Pokemon balls from like a capsule machine. And
it's pretty special, Nico. Do you think we can use this stuff?
Oh yeah, they've got they got some of those triangular hats that have the weird indentations in it, and they bring those as well.
This thing, I'm holding the broken Roomba. I'm like, this looks like some powerful technology. Can we do something with this, Nico?
You muted.
I'll go, sure, I can find something to do with it. Then I turn around and like prop open a door.
When you get back to the vehicle, you of course find that Gaffel has somehow managed to get back here before anybody else, and is sort of sitting on the back going, okay, we can go now. It'd be nice to go. We can go now.
Actually, Lowell, if we can grab his gang member, I can spend 4 mutation points and critical injury heal him. It's the one thing I can do.
Okay. Well, I won't have you spend the points on that. We can read that in the fiction.
All right.
As that. So now here's my question. If you want to peel back away from this danger zone, do you want to peel off and wait and come back? Do you want to peel off and head home? Do you want to peel off and head for that other zone?
Sounds like people want to go exploring.
I think
wondering why the hell this was on Rajan's map.
I think because of the tank.
Maybe.
the map is well and good, but we have I feel like we have sunk something into this affair, and we could get something out of it. These people might be open to an alliance.
I don't think so.
We help them defend their home and their site of ritual.
Do you have any sense that they saw that at all?
I suppose not.
You've got your trophy that you won off of that guy. We can show them that. I'm pointing at Nico.
Yeah.
I don't know that they witnessed that belonged to the leader. I think they don't strike me as the most aware people. They just have a big, powerful weapon.
Well, I think it is unfair to assume that they have poor intentions just because they're strange and have big weapons. I mean, we have many of those at the Ark, but We're not so bad. Some of us.
Some of us.
Some of us.
Well, they also didn't have guards posted, so that seems a little weird. I mean, like overconfident? Maybe dense? I don't know which.
I mean, it's their special day. They needed everybody on deck for their little ceremony.
That's what I think.
If you want the pincer thing, why don't we just steal it?
No, we don't need to steal from these people. We just tried so hard to stop them from... Well, I suppose we had ulterior motives, but...
What about borrow then?
It just seems wrong to walk away with nothing.
If we go back in, what's our game plan? I mean, do we think these raiders are mostly cleaned up? Or are they backing off yet?
I think the raiders are going to back off. I think that we know what's here now and what we have to plan for. We know this thing exists.
And I need a nap.
You can come back a lot smarter with a lot better personnel for this.
Should we leave them a note to let them know that we're friends and not enemies?
Yes, I like this.
Given that no one can write.
Yeah.
We have no need for runes or symbols. Another token of friendship.
Like what?
We will trace a heart in the dirt.
Yes.
Yeah, then they'll think that we're coming for their heart or something.
You people are also pessimistic.
Kalima!
We'll draw a scene of friends meeting each other and exchanging good things.
Huh, looks just like a war.
Shakti!
Well, fine. If you do not wish to bolster our community with friends and allies, I suppose we can leave.
Somebody else could make friends with them.
Here's the thing, though, is we started out trying that and it didn't go particularly well, Obi. So here's the thing is do you want to put yourself forward?
I would risk this, but I am not the best talker, as you may know.
Right. And what approach do you think would be the right one? It would have to... Oh, I think Electra tried that, though, didn't you?
More or less, yeah. I think I came in at a bad time, though.
So we would have to approach them at a bad time, like when they're not being attacked or not doing their ritual.
And not both, preferably, as well.
Right. Okay. And then we need someone who's good at talking, right?
Do they really have anything that we need? Right?
Just the tank.
Yeah, we don't really need the tank, right? Like, we live on a boat.
What they have is a promise of a future away from our home.
Maybe the other side has something else, some other information that will help us to figure out more of what their deal is. I don't know if it'll bring us something related or what, but I don't know. I'm just this place has left me confused. It hasn't answered any of my questions so far.
I like this. Maybe on the way back.
And I kind of go, you want this place? I mean, you want to be here where there's all the dead people in the chairs and the people with the rights?
I mean, we put our dead in the ground. They put them in the stands. I don't see much of a difference.
I don't think they...
Sure, it's a little strange, but if we go from community to community and turn away from them at a small sign of difference, we'll never move on from our home.
I say that we rest up, and then if you really want friendship, what we need is one of those scribblers.
Yes, a scribbler. You're right. Always right syntax.
Not a scribner, a scribbler.
So what I'm hearing is falling back to rest. And sort of the big question is if you're planning on heading back to the Ark and then coming back this way, or if you're going to press on to investigate this other site.
Well, what about this thing that says Eden?
Right. I would like to heal up and look at things. So
okay.
Yeah, healing
doesn't look like the best place to me, but it's fine to keep on the list as a possibility. So.
So let's say that you guys can find a campsite a ways away. If you want to heal, you can do that. It will cost strength costs 1 grub per strength point you want to heal. Agility costs 1 water per point you want to heal. And the other ones require sleep or conversation to heal.
I took zone cook, so if we can get any rat grub, I can cook some up for us.
I have a lot of grub. Remember, I had like we had cooked like 17 of them or 15 of them or something.
Mm-hmm. How much do you have on you right now?
I just consumed 2 from 17, so I have 15.
Okay.
I have 0.
Here you go, peasant.
Thank you.
I'll take some too.
I'll just take
clear confusion.
Confusion just means rest.
How much do you guys take?
I need 2 to heal and I'll be
1
fine.
to survive.
And 1 to survive, yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 5. And I'll give Obi 5, and then I'll have 5 left. Then I'll try to find a mutated deer at some point again.
So just to clarify, was this place where the map led us to?
The dome?
Yes.
I was in that location, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Electra, I wonder, like, do you feel like you found what you were looking for? Or do you want to kind of keep poking through this area?
I don't know if there's going to be. Do we see anything else that's like notable in the vicinity? It seems like this dome was the site.
That makes me think that, you know, your master might have had, or whoever it was might have had connections here.
Really? You don't think it was the tank?
I forgot.
It could be either. I mean, we've got the 2 sites though. I think that if we go on to the next one, maybe there will be something that helps me make sense of this, because as it is, I don't know. It could have been the tank, could have been the cultists. I'm not sure.
Is the other site that you're looking for that other green rectangle?
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh yeah, let's definitely just go there, right? You guys already walked so far.
Yeah.
So everybody should mark a point of rot.
Oh.
If you have a rot suit,
Yeah.
you can roll to prevent taking that point of temporary rot.
1d6?
Yep.
Or how many? Or is it d6 per rating?
D6 per rating. So Obakai, you do not take any rot.
Rolling for forever.
So how do I rest while we've got this rest period? Like, how would I go about clearing that confusion?
Oh, you've actually got that air mattress.
Oh yeah.
You can just lay down on that for an hour and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
use my air mattress.
Perfect. Yes.
I guess I took some rot, huh?
Yeah, so mark a point of temporary rot.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty close to that other one, so rather than go and then come back, I think, yeah.
And you don't have any permanent rot, do you?
No.
Okay, good.
I do.
Okay, well, but you didn't take any new stuff, so you don't have to worry about that.
Cool.
Sherry, you'll take a point of temporary rot. And do you have a rot suit, Electra? Okay. So you'll mark 1 point of temporary rot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the same as having one.
In some cases, well, no. Opakai managed to face off his rot situation.
Sure.
So I'm hearing that you want to push forward to check out the next couple of zones and find what's at this other green location. Is what I heard.
Yeah, and maybe on the way it might be wise to hunt if we're getting low on the foods as well.
And that's one of the things you can do with your abilities when you do the find the path is you can use extra successes to get food. Let's take 5 minutes and we'll come back and we'll take up with that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Right.
Hello, is that Hearts of Wulon that you run? That you ran your favorite series that you've run so far on Hangouts, or?
I don't know if it's my favorite series, but it's pretty damn close. It's.
What's your favorite? What's your absolute favorite?
Wow,
Good question.
Yeah.
that is a really Kuro.
Oh, Kuro?
Kuro, the cyberpunk J horror game.
You ran that twice, right?
Twice. I don't know what it is about that setting, but it's really good. And I'm running it different than the settings actually written because I really love J horror, like Junji Ito and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of that stuff in the back of my head, and it really works for me.
Is it like sci-fi J horror or like traditional J horror?
It's cyberpunk near future with traditional J horror.
Oh, interesting. Like Ringu and all that kind of stuff in there.
Like the big case in the last one was that there are subdermal tattoos that people go and hack and get programs for to have them move and do stuff, and they found out that somebody was hacking other people's tattoos to do like magical symbols on them to summon things, and essentially summoning these spirits into people to cause problems.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, it sounds very good.
I just love tattoos, especially magical tattoos, and
especially magical tattoos.
But subdermal enhancements also sound super tight.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I want.
There's a great scene where Christo Meade went and got some new tattoos, and it was some good stuff in there. But yeah, that's really good, and I'm really enjoying. Because I haven't done like drama, like Monster Hearts drama as much. That hasn't been my thing. But Hearts of Wulin has gotten all of that, just super, romantic tensions, and nobody can talk about their feelings and all of that to the table, without so much of the angst and oh my god, we're all going to die of Monster Hearts.
That sounds really appealing. Do you think that's driven by the mechanics, or do you think that is especially because of the players?
I think it's both, actually. I think the mechanics have really supported the players having the ability to do it.
Cool.
So, Sherry, the binoculars. Go ahead and make a comprehend roll for me.
Ooh. I might be able to. I can help if that's possible, but I don't know if you can.
Sure, I'll roll a 1d6 and see if that helps.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, because I'm rolling what I'm good at, so of course I'm horrible at it. Okay, I can't even type it now. Okay, I got a 6. Yay, I got a success. All right.
It is plus
Nice.
3, just plus 3 gear bonus to scout and find the path.
Syntax.
Yeah, I'm about to do that, I think.
Got the binos.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hand them over.
I'm in the car and you're looking them over and talking about what they do, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so useful for what I'm about to do.
She's already handing them over to you. When you sort of look up, they've already hanging over you.
Yippee.
I think Obi tries them, but his head is so wide that they don't even fit for his eyes. They're just in between his face, and they can't use them.
So let's have a find the path roll. I assume that you are heading up through the area that is marked Eden on the map.
Probably. What do you guys think?
I mean, I just want to say yes to that question.
Let's scope it out. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll find the path
Okay.
with
So it
your
looks
bonus
like-
dice from binoculars.
Yeah, it looks like approximately 30 dice. So that'll be good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Remind me what my... Okay, so I could take +2 modification to it with Scavenger, right? With successes, you find any artifacts that may exist in the sector To identify threats, you must get stunts. You choose whether or not to use this. And it was like, it's because it changes that to the focus of the roll, right?
Yeah, essentially what it is if you think you're only going to get one success, then you choose whether you're going to get safety or artifacts is what you're doing there.
Right. But if I don't take that, then I could get food for us as well.
Regardless, if you don't take it, you can still have a chance to get artifacts. It's just not guaranteed.
Okay.
If you choose artifacts, are you guaranteed to have a threat involved? Because you choose safety.
No.
It's like the first success goes to artifacts. So if you only get one success, it goes to artifacts and not to safety.
If you do the same,
But then all the other ones you can use to whatever you want.
Oh,
Okay. So what do you guys think? Is that worth it?
We all love stuff, but we might get jumped if you only get one success out of your roll. That's
right.
That's what I'm here for. I still got 4 on my hockey armor. I got.
Yeah, but
I'm fully healed. We could deal with the threat, no problem.
As long as we think we can get to the second side and back, I'm good with it.
Okay. This time we'll do it.
Last time we had a nice returning montage in the Jeep and we didn't deal with everything, but now we're pretty far, so it might not be that way.
Right.
You are in the vehicle, which actually makes your return trip much faster.
Great. Okay. And find the path is agility. So I actually do have a lot of dice, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, you have a ton of dice.
2.
Okay, so right now you're sitting at 2 successes, which means you can find an artifact and be safe.
Yeah.
Or you could push it and maybe get more.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Can you put 2 into artifacts and 0 into safety?
Is this Fraser, the same Fraser who earlier on was...
I learned my lesson.
oh wait, I was going to help with Scout. So you get
it's actually find the path.
Oh, it's find the path. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I might have that, but I don't think so.
The stalker does it alone.
Yes. All right. I'm going to see what artifact, since you did the point of success there, I'm going to tell you what you find, and then you can tell me where you find it.
Okay. See, this is me paying you back for the binoculars, maybe. Unless it's something really good. Just kidding.
Hey, if we live, that's the payback I need.
Yeah, living is good.
Let's see here.
It's just a preference.
Number 1 on the chart.
I think I like that this group is really good at sharing. Everyone's just like, I'll hook you up with the thing that you need. It's nice. We're not the usual scum and villainy you get in a party in the apocalypse.
We're also not that great at things.
That's true. Okay.
Best talent is sharing.
Yeah. It's the only thing we never fail at.
It's what keeps us alive out here.
All right. So you are going to find a flashlight.
Oh.
And the flashlight is nice. Of course, it can do disperse the darkness, allowing you to shoot and scout in the darkness. You can also turn it in to get a D6 towards your community's technology rating.
I like technology.
And it does have a battery in it.
Ooh, battery.
Ooh.
Must be lithium ion.
This is the zone that you're in. It actually, is this one that on the map is marked Eden. It does not look like Eden to you. When you move into it, you can see quite a ways. And again, remember we described this place as cold and frosty, and in some places snowy. This sort of region. When you move across here, at first you think that you're crossing ice because of the kind of crunching and the snow and the cold, but soon you realize that you're actually crossing glass. There's ice on it and there's snow, but this whole area is just one big glassified site. the ground has just been blasted and melted into this glass.
Is it like clear glass or like what? Like is it?
Oh
shaded?
no, it's horrible. Sand and dirt and stuff's all kind of formed kind of black and nasty ice.
Mhm.
Is it
ice.
like lightning strike, or is it like something else?
Yeah, I would say that for you, probably the best thing is if you've seen where lightning strike, where the plasma has hit and melted the ground. It's like that, but huge. And you probably have enough knowledge to know that this is an explosion that happened here of some kind of vast and powerful explosion.
So, scariest environment imaginable. Got it.
I think Obakai actually finds this place beautiful. I think they're just kind of like standing up out of the Jeep, just looking around while we're driving through.
Yeah, and there's no threats here because there's nothing living here. Nothing can survive in this place. It's just barren and flattened.
I think to make it even more ominous is like the flashlight is hanging from its strap from a branch on a tree.
Yeah, like somebody came through here and just left that behind.
Yeah, and probably died. And at first I probably think it's an ambush, but then nothing happens. It's like one of those ramping up tension moments in the TV show, and then nothing happens, you know?
Like that looks like bait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put the glass there. And again, you guys started off in the morning. Because you have the vehicle, it only takes you a couple of hours to actually move through that zone, finding the path there, making your way in, and you can actually move on to the next area very easily, which means another find the path roll. Your gang is probably, by the way, Electra, getting a little nervous now. How do you keep them calm? You guys are way far out away from the Ark.
How do I keep them calm? I just, assure them like, hey, we've got this car. It's not going to be hard to get back. I don't want to cut into our fuel supply, so I won't offer them booze. But, I'm like, look, we've got a crew out here. We could, if we wanted to, we could get back to the Ark by nightfall. And I don't know if we can for sure. But no. I'm very confident in this, or I'm just acting very confident.
Awesome. So they believe you. They trust you. NEKO kept the one guy from bleeding out, so they're like, okay, yeah, okay. So tell me, Syntax, are you searching for artifacts in this next one first, or safety first?
I think we realize that everyone probably wants it to be safety, like in the fiction, but like I think you should make the choice that you would make.
Yeah.
So what he's telling you is do what you want. Is effectively.
Absolutely.
I need 2 swords, right? So I need to dual wield.
Yes.
Holy cow!
And that's what Obakai secretly
I wonder
wanted.
if I should push and get 1,000,000 successes.
Oh, I'm so tempted.
Well, but think about it. So let's consider the first success is going to go towards an artifact.
Okay.
The second success will go towards safety.
Right.
And then with your additional successes right now, you can get food and water potentially.
Yeah, that would be good.
Is there like a higher class of artifacts that you could just put 2 in and get one of those or something? Or like,
Nope.
Can you get 2? Okay.
Well, I think it would be wise to get food and water.
Yeah, I don't know how we have supplies, but I've got 9 food, but I'm really low on water.
Yeah.
I think share some.
I think I have 5 of each now.
So are you happy with that roll, or do you want to push it?
It would be essentially rolling. Maybe not, because 3 of them are gear dice.
Okay.
You're only rerolling 6 dice.
Yeah, and 3 of them are
dice.
It'll mostly only get worse. So
yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to look at it.
We'll just keep that and get our artifact and our water and our food. We'll take the win.
We'll take all this stuff that we got. It's fine.
It's like leaving the casino with like $300. You're like, yes, I made it.
So you can get a D6 worth of food that your zone cook can clean up for you. So roll that.
4
rations of grub that the zone cook can clean, and then a D6 rations of rot-free water.
3.
3 rations of water.
Cool.
Do we send 2 to Electra if she's really low, or does anyone need some?
I have 5 water.
I have 4, so
I've got 2 left, and I've got my thirsty boys to feed.
yeah, and it's your more important stat too. I don't really use it. You can have 2 or you can have 3 of mine.
Okay, I'll add up 3.
I think Obi's looking out for the survival of others out here this far out.
If you need to, I'll look after you with grub. I've got enough of that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm good now.
Okay, so
Syntax
how much water does everyone have?
I have 3. So that's
Okay.
good.
5 now.
I have 4, so sure, you should take the other one. So 2 to Electra, 1 to any KO, and then 1 grub each, or does anyone need some?
Electric can have my water, I think, because it has to feed others or for others.
I'm at
yeah.
with the 3. I just got him at 5 water, so I'm okay for now. I think.
Okay, well, everyone can take 1 grub. That's easy.
That is definitely the easier thing.
Yeah, and then we just need to find another katana. Come on, katana.
Only 1.
There's got to be 2 in the deck, man. Swords are just so cool.
Yeah. Well, what I'm betting is that he gave me the katana just to be really nice and never actually pulled the card. So now it's an actual.
There is a sword card.
Yeah,
That's good.
see?
That's good
Katana.
GMing right there, though. That's recognizing, what your player wants.
You will find here as you're moving through this area, it is kind of woods. A lot of the trees that are closest to the edge of that sort of glassed area, they're grayish, and when you actually move by and there's the rumble of the truck, the trees just disintegrate. Like they were just held together. And you kind of push through. We get some more woods, and you're heading on forward. You will find a cabin. There are others around, but they're just kind of stands and ruins and things like that. This one seems like maybe someone was here some time ago. And out in front, there are mounds, like 6. Clearly that they're old, but 6 graves out in front of it. There are some like handmade kind of like people have wrapped things together to kind of form a human shape, like a doll, to put it at each of them, and that's kind of overgrown. You'll look around the site. No one's been here in a while, but you will find a bottle that's kind of tucked away for preservation syntax. And it's thick and really beautifully colored. And when you open it up, there's just this brilliant perfume smell that comes from it. And it is, in fact, a perfume bottle that acts as a bonus to manipulate. But you can also turn it in for a D6 culture.
Oh, for culture, nice.
Nice. We got culture and tech. That's great.
I'll take it for now. If I'd had that before, I think things might have gone better with those cultists.
Imagine smelling nice in the apocalypse. Everyone would love you.
They would have started worshiping me. Yeah, they would have thought I was some kind of goddess emerged from the wastes. This will help us next
Walking
time.
with your pizza?
I'm sure. Yeah.
So how come you're marking the boxes red though? That's ominous. Can they be yellow like the other one? Or beige or whatever?
I'll turn them beige after you've been through them.
We need a gentle color.
Okay.
We need a gentle color.
Yeah. I was like, why are these zones angry?
So I think that Obakai, upon seeing all these empty homes, would say, like, so many abandoned places. These people must be leaving their homes or being wiped out.
It is a dangerous place.
And they're close to that glassy wasteland. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them perished whenever whatever it was did this.
So probably now it's taking about 4 hours. So we're kind of getting towards midday after you make your way through that. And you've got this next zone, the one that is marked on the map.
Right.
Let's have you make one
So
more
we're-
find the path roll.
We need to find something here, right? Is what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it might be
It might be
connected to
something
that
like
zone. I don't know.
the tank
Okay.
or the Colt.
So
This looks like a water area, so it could be a boat then. Who knows?
So do you think I should prioritize safety with this one then if it is another tank?
Or another Colt. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I won't take the modification on that one.
Okay.
And 3. Oh, rough day. Push 2. Oh,
2.
But the binoculars are taking a rough time.
Yeah, they're not particularly put together well, and you're kind of using them, and you're playing with the focus, and you probably crack one of the lenses when you're doing that.
I can repair them later.
But you've got safety, and you can use that as for success to assess the general level of rot, find bullets, find more grub, find more water, if you would like.
Or find an artifact.
Well, artifacts off the table right now for this moment, and I'll show you why in a second.
Do you think bullets? Maybe I have 5 bullets, but
Bullets are always handy.
it's
Sounds
basically
like you need 'em.
money, right?
Their
If she
self-defense and their
chooses rot roll, do we not have to roll rot for this area?
No, it's the assessed rot level is mainly if you thought you wanted to make sure that this wasn't like a high rot area.
Okay.
Guys, we don't need to worry about the rot out here. That's fine.
Delicious. What do you think, Fraser?
I think it's just a myth.
Well, so far from the sessions that we've played, we always seem to get low on grub, right?
Yeah.
So
We get into a lot of fights, and that's why we need to eat a lot, I think.
yeah,
Obukai is a
grub.
hungry person.
5.
Look at that.
Hungry
5.
hippo.
What is it syntax that you find and can hand over to any KO to fix?
To fix. I don't know. Maybe what's a food that you just need to cook that isn't meat?
Giant tadpoles.
Tadpoles?
Yeah, like big tadpoles, like this big.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
They don't grow up to be some real big frogs.
Yeah, iridescent tadpoles in some of these shallow ponds. They got the little pollywog legs, and you're able to pick them up before they've taken on too much rot, and she can cook those up.
These things are like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll mark that in mind for now, and then we just have to remember that we have to cook 9 grub, right?
Yeah, well, she can do that sort of automatically with Zone Cook, I believe.
Oh, it automatically happens?
I think
Oh.
so.
It'll exist when we take a camp. When we do our next camp, then I'll make it. So since we can't eat it before then, that's fine.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Sounds
you will-
like a good stew.
We'll find literally a path here. A road that is a little more clear, like someone has cleared this area. And you're still a little ways away from the edge of the water, but you will come up along this path, and the woods are kind of, close by and maybe a little more nerve-wracking at this point. You're kind of leading the cars going along. Right now, Elector, your people are they're calming a little bit, but now we're moving through this dark woods. We saw those graves. They're starting to get a little more edgy again.
And I'm confident, that this is where we need to be. This path will lead us to some knowledge of what happened to Rajon.
And you will move, and you will see the path kind of turns, woods are around, and you see up ahead a pair of like pillars. They're maybe 20 feet tall, or 6 meters or so for Canadian friends. And there's something kind of suspended between them. They're very bright red, like they've been recently recolored. There's kind of this weird thing between them. There's some stuff wrapped around them, and you can see that there's a settlement here. Buildings like you haven't seen before. Some of them like clearly have been rebuilt, and some of them have been repaired. Like they're old, they're really weird, and like nothing you've ever seen before. Strange angled rooftops and weird sort of like shells on the rooftops, and very cleared, cleaned path out here, and there's like a little creek running through this place, and you will see that there are a bunch of figures moving around in this area, and they're robots, like mechanical people, but clearly not people. Like they're very obviously robots.
Did you get the Mechatrons thing before me, Joel?
Maybe.
I see what happened. So they how do we distinguish that they're robots?
Like you've seen, we've talked about there being machinations that have been dangerous things. There are some of them are just like square boxes with sensors on them and treads and arms. Some of them are more humanoid looking, but they're still clearly artificial. And they're kind of moving around. The thing that strikes you is the ones that have a more human shape are wearing clothing. Like they've got like very sort of tattered but colored robes on in some places. Some of them have kind of headdresses like your wigs, but they're black. Some of them have bits and pieces and plates on that are here. And the thing that will strike you, NEKO, is that they're multiples of them. They're moving around. They're clearly doing repairs and doing work. And there's some parts of this place that are clearly automated. But Syntax's eye will be drawn to several of these more humanoid-looking ones because they have katanas.
Oh, trade. Oh, but what do you all are? They probably don't want any of. I don't think they need bullets or grub or food. The superior race.
Do you think they understand the concept of commerce?
Is there anything to suggest that they've done trade with other people, or that there's some sort of outward-looking trade or anything like that?
That's a good question for a scout roll to ask questions.
Okay. Well, I will ask that then, I guess.
Look for import-export signs.
Are you getting assistance on the sort of the reading of the sitch then?
I think Syntax and I, so 2. Unless, Electra, do you have Scout?
I don't think that I have Scout.
Okay.
I have Scout. Yeah, I can help.
2 dice then, Sherry.
All right. I'll take them.
NEKO can read, right? No?
She thinks maybe. She's noticed those patterns. She's got theories.
Okay. The scribblers can read, but not us.
She can read. She can't write.
Right. Okay.
There are multiple different sort of sets of buildings around here in the settlement with sort of different designs. The robots are clearly kind of keeping things together. You can see that there is a sort of weird metal road that winds through this place. And the little creek with a little arched bridge on it. And you'll definitely see that. You don't see any signs of humans present.
Okay.
With your one success, I'm going to answer your first question. It looks like they've been fixing things here. Like some of this place is still run down, but they've come and are repairing parts of it.
So they'd be interested in tools or anything that would help them repair. I mean, maybe, I don't know if they'd be open to negotiating, but if we could help them out with some of their repairs, they might be willing to trade with us.
That's good leverage. Sherry, what's your second question?
Oh, you said that there's a metal road. So does that look like this place was made for some of these robots? Like they're the ones that were there originally?
No.
Really?
No, it actually
looks
you don't
like
see any of these robots.
Here.
None of them have like tracks or anything like that to go along this little railroad that runs through the place.
Is the bridge metal too, or is it just that road that winds through?
There are bits and pieces of metal on that the bridge is made of.
How wide is the metal road?
It's maybe a couple, maybe 3 feet wide, maybe a meter wide.
Huh.
Between the two rails.
I think Obakai is fascinated by these people, and I think they would say just something like, these people, we may have discovered a new intelligent species, a new kind. They obviously understand construction, and they have a concept of style unless somebody has put the clothes onto them, which I suppose is possible, but these could be allies.
Yes, that is a fine summary of the situation. And I think that if we want to know any more, we're going to have to decide whether we're going in or not. And I would like to go in.
I'm okay with going in.
Yeah,
they don't seem like militant to me.
Yet.
Yeah.
Who knows what the programming is?
Too suspicious or try to threaten them at all, but we should at least be on our guard, even if we don't front like we're on our guard.
Maybe we should send one of your friends in first, just as a test.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh God, my neck!
A test for these robots, maybe, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
pulled my butt muscle in that last thing. Be able to pass that don't think I can walk.
Guys! I want to go in.
Yeah. I don't think Gaffel.
I'm done with that, says Gaffel.
Is this who we would want to make first contact with these people? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with what he said. Yes.
I guess I'll try to get to a place where I'm able to cover any KO if stuff should go down. Then
let me ask you a question. Then any KO, assuming that Syntax kind of moves into position, are you planning on driving the vehicle in or walking in?
I'll probably walk in.
Okay.
Okay. Just because I think in some ways the vehicle is has too much presence. Does that make any sense?
I might go in with you too. I mean, these are robots, and I've got my magnetic powers, which could come handy if anything goes wrong. I mean, we can walk in, without any obvious weapon showing, and I've still got some powers that'll be a lot of help.
I would also really like for Obakai to come along. Maybe these people might be threatened by humans, and it might be nice to have someone who looks different kind of there as well. And also I have bodyguard and stuff, so I could just be on close. I think we should have Syntax on point and everything. We should, at the first sign of danger, we should try and get out.
Well, I was thinking of covering you at a distance because that's what I'm best at.
Yeah, so that's what I meant by on point. Yeah.
Okay, and and then I take any KO aside, and I'm like, if you can get me a sword, that would be good.
What if they're just for show? I'll find out though. Okay, it's one of the first things I'll ask about. And
so
So
any
it's-
KO, you're
yeah.
moving forward.
Mhm.
Electra, are you taking some of your people with you, or are they staying back?
I think they're staying back. We don't want to go in with like a bunch of.
Oh yeah, boss, you know what you're talking about. That sounds good. And then Obakai is also going, right?
I would ask your permission. What do you think?
Any KO? Does this seem like a good idea, or do you want to have Obakai hold off until you have a chance to interact with them?
My first inclination is that if we're going to have someone on point far away, it would be good if we had someone with the car who could drive it up real quick if we need to get out. So Obakai's been in the passenger seat enough to know the basics. Foot down, this way. Don't floor it.
I've got a lot of power behind the feet there, but I'll try my best.
You don't need to. The car's got the power. It's got to tell it where you want to go. It's easy.
It has many horses.
Okay, then yeah, I'll be standing by close to the car. Maybe if need be, I might at some point go invisible and just get closer, just to kind of watch them.
All right. So any KO, Electra, you move forward. Binoculars, one cracked lens, but one is still there. Okay. And you two walk up to the arch here and kind of pass. You can see that there's a fence that sort of surrounds the compound, kind of ornate. Some of it's fallen down around. But you walk in, and when you kind of come up, you'll see some of these robot figures. Some of them are very clearly like not human at all. They're clearly doing jobs. They're like lifting things or moving things or cleaning things. One of them looks like that Roomba that you found.
Really?
And it's a bigger one, and it's around on the ground.
Useful.
And
maybe they can heal it.
there are a couple of these more humanoid ones, and when you come in, they kind of turn and look, and they kind of freeze, and then they start coming forward like very, very tentatively.
Mm-hmm. So I say, hello. We're exploring, and we just saw this place. Can we come in?
You are humans?
Yeah, more or less.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to Daimyo Land. Come in.
Excellent. What is Daimyo Land? I mean, it's lovely. But what is this place?
Is Daimyo Land.
Well,
Do you have been?
info?
Pardon? I'm sorry.
Yeah, any more information than that? You said it's Daimyo Land.
It's the land of daimyos that we are repairing to bring back humans, right? But that's a thing we're certain will happen.
Right,
so it's a place that's safe.
It's daimyo land, and we were told by Boss Kurosawa that this would all be a good place, and this is how we bring humans back.
Can you show us one of these daimyos?
No, it's
Lord
daimyo
Boss
land.
Kurosawa. Yes.
Boss Kurosawa is a daimyo, but this is daimyo land.
Oh. Well, maybe.
But you're the first humans. There were no others. We haven't seen any others.
Oh. We know where there are some.
You know where there are others?
Yeah.
Well, come in. We should probably we've got the processes coming on, and we should probably get you ready for when the raid comes.
Oh,
Who's
what
going to
raid?
raid?
Ah, this is Daimyo Land.
Okay.
Yes, Daimyo Land.
It is almost time for the bandit raid.
Oh, yes, the bandit raid at Daimyo Land. How often does the bandit raid happen?
3 o'clock in the afternoon each day features the bandit raid at Daimyo Land.
Okay. Where should we go to watch but not get involved?
Oh, you don't want to be part of this?
We want to see it first. Did you get those towers over there? What does the upstairs look like?
Oh, we could take you to one of the shrines. You could see
yes.
our automatic Buddha.
Okay.
We kind of look at each other.
And
yeah, automatic Muda. It's Daimyo Land.
I believe him.
This human robot is walking backwards, like it turns its torso around
Okay.
to face you and turns the legs, and the legs walk backwards while it's still facing you and going, as you can see, there's train tracks. We have a train. It goes around Daimyo Land.
It does. When does it come by?
When we run it, when it's working.
Okay. Oh, you're still working on it.
It takes fuel.
Oh, what kind of fuel? I can make fuel.
And he goes, it's synthetic synthetical.
Yeah,
we have a processor for it.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
I want to help.
No, you don't get to help. We're helping you because you're humans. You're going to show us how to be better. And you see him kind of look off towards one of the buildings, and everything will be okay.
Yes, we'll show you how to be better, and things will be okay. Nico, should we get the others? These guys clearly aren't, outright dangerous.
There are more of you.
Well, we got some friends. We're out here, looking around. We've been looking for Daimyo Land. We're so glad we found it.
Bring them.
I'll go fetch the rest of the crew and kind of fill them in. And the story that I tell them probably doesn't completely make sense. But I'll bring it to them. Yeah, it's robust. Daimyo Land. They really like people. They're very people friendly, if a little bit confusing. A little bit confused is actually the right word for it. But they're more or less friendly. It seems like they want to help us or do what they can for us in their confused state.
I would like to have spent a mutation point to just have eavesdropped on some of that conversation, to just go invisible for a bit and succeed on the stealth check. And then I think I would just say, I think they sounded nice. They're very welcoming.
They certainly are. It's Daimyo Land.
just great people.
Just in case, I'm gonna stay back here hidden, and then that way, if anything goes south, you guys just give me a signal, and I'll come in.
The bandit raid. They said 3 o'clock, whatever that means.
The bandits won't find me either. Hopefully.
Keep an eye out for
them. Any word on the katana?
Because they have them. I'm not sure if Daimyo get them or just the guards.
Do you think Daimyo is actually a person?
I think it kind of means boss.
They seem to think, that meshes with what they've said so far. I wonder what's going to happen if one of us tells them that we're a daimyo.
What do we think the signal is for when things go south and I have to come in?
That's a good question.
Screaming and gunfire.
So
I mean, I can send a runner. I don't know.
Oh, the flashlight. Give me the flashlight. We can flash it a few times into the arch. So if you see that light up.
It will be the syntax signal.
Gotcha. Because I'm just thinking that next session I'm not here, right? So
That's correct.
What? I thought you were going to play next month.
I'll be
We
next
still
month, but
got-
not next
month,
session.
we still got one more session left in
February.
whatever February, because next Wednesday is the last day of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I let's push just get a little more of this scene in here as you guys, the group of you, men and women, and they kind of move in. This robot will say, I am CHR 239. But you may call me Shinji.
Hi, Shinji.
Shinji. I'll do a very respectful little bow. Nice to meet you, Shinji.
When you return back, he stops and stares at Obakai. That's not a human.
He is our friend. He's basically human.
He is your pet. Pets are allowed.
What do you say, Obakai?
I say maybe I don't like them as much as I thought I did.
He's talking about you, not us. He is our pet, and sometimes he gets angry.
I just shoot you a death stare, like metal jaw, just like flexing.
And I kind of like look at you like I'm trying to cover us here.
So I asked the robot, I'm like, so how do you know who's a human and who isn't?
You and you, they fit within human characteristic parameters. It does not.
So it's based on how they look.
Biometrics.
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 What does
I
that
have
mean?
Biometrics. It means I know you're not human.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Obakai. These robots are kind of set in their ways. I mean,
This
And-
advanced human.
They're advanced. And from the far side of the compound, you'll hear sort of shouting and yelling, and the robot will say, if you do not wish to be part of the raid, we should probably go to the temple.
yes, let's do that. It sounds like it's 3 o'clock out there.
It is.
I'm
What
like,
happens in the raid?
Oh, well, that's when the bandits attack.
Where do they attack?
They attack all
we go-
over.
We don't have a lot of time. I think this temple sounds like where we want to be.
And
And I
you'll
look
see
back
there
towards
are
syntax.
a group of maybe a dozen robots of various sort of constructions and sizes and armor plating on. Some of them are on foot with like spears, and some of them have bows, and some of them have katanas, and about 4 of them are riding bitter beasts, and are riding, and they ride through on the far side, and they are cutting robots down.
wow. We get out of the way.
Come on, Shinji. We have little time to spare. Let's get to the temple.
Can I
right.
quickly? Can I roll a scout or something to see if syntax would be in any danger?
I'd say you don't need to roll a scout. Syntax can see this. The only thing that might put Syntax in danger is when he sees that some of them have katanas.
She is fairly careful, right? Fingers crossed. Okay. So here's my question. Do these bandits actually look like they need to be repelled? That essentially this is what we're supposed to make better?
You will see a set of other robots come running out. Some of them are rolling, and you can see like smoke, like they've got a little like a combustion engine in them, and other ones are on treads, and another one looks like it's just a big round ball with like a bandana tied around the top of it. And you'll see that there are 7 of them, and they proceed to fight off these bandits. It has the look of like a regular thing, but they do like clearly cut down some of these robots. It's not just play acting.
Okay. And so I turn to Shinji and I'm like, well, what happens to those robots that got hurt?
They will be repaired.
Who gets to repair them?
We have robot repair systems.
Can I see the robot repair?
I thought we were going to the temple.
Yes, the temple, away from the violence.
Go to there first.
And then robot repair.
And then you'll see him stop. And he looks over, and you can see the building that he glanced at a couple of times before. At the front sort of gate, you see these doors open. And you will see this guy walk out.
A robot.
This guy, he's got this kimono on. He's got one arm kind of slung in it. See him walk out. Rubs the back of his head. Kind of looks at you.
Hello, good sir.
Daimyo.
And this robot goes, I think Boss Kurosawa wants to meet you.
Sure, let's go meet Boss Kurosawa.
And that's where we're going to stop for tonight.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's do.
I'll get you a katana.
Nice. It'll be homecoming.
Let's do experience points if we can, and if you don't mind, let's take a quick bit to do roses and thorns if you don't mind.
Sure. Is it actually from Mechatron? Lol.
This is from. You may have gotten the Zone Compendium books, book 4 and 5, as a PDF.
Oh, okay.
There's stretch goals. This is a variation on one of the zones from book 4.
Oh, cool. I'm all about that Mechatron.
I know, but I wanted to do something with robots, and I changed it so it would have katanas.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
It's very, very near Automata.
In our home campaign, the robot encounters were the most harrowing of them all.
Yes. Did you participate in the session? You get an experience point.
I think so.
Did you explore a new sector?
Yes.
Yes. Did you sacrifice or risk something for your PC buddy? Sherry?
I didn't have to. Obakai didn't get walloped too hard.
It was a shock.
Yeah. I mean, he did a good job of taking care of things, so that was good.
Yeah, he was on it.
Good job, Obi.
Thank you.
What about syntax?
Mine was NEKO. I kept saying that I was like sticking close to her, but I don't know
I'll give you a point for that. Why not?
Cool.
What about Obakai?
I don't think so. At the end, I was going to go run back towards Syntax if I thought she was in danger, but I think before that, I don't think there was anything.
Okay. Yeah, no, she held back, so she didn't put herself out there as she has before.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you there, Electra?
I don't think so. I think things went like pretty smoothly in this session, so there wasn't really the need to really like sacrifice something.
Okay, that seems fair. And then the only other one that would be appropriate is, did you sacrifice or risk something to reach your big dream? Sherry?
Not yet.
Okay. Syntax?
I think so. My dream is to find sanctuary, and I pushed through. I was advocating for us to keep going.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'll give you a point. Obakai thinks you'd probably get a point under the same context, right?
Yeah, I think, and the fact that I was kind of pushing constantly to go meet with these new people and stuff like that, and like I want to make connections for Victoria's sake. So,
okay. And what about for you there, Electra?
Yeah, I'm inclined towards yes on this one. I mean, we've gone out on this journey, and I nearly lost one of my guys out here in pursuit of more answers.
I'll give you a point for that. I think that's fair because you actually were like, hey, we definitely got to go there to do that. I would like to take a few minutes to do some roses and thorns, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
not at all.
Are you guys cool with that? So we'll start with thorns. So first, I don't think I felt like I didn't give you enough spotlight time tonight.
I don't think so. I had enough fun with it. I mean, especially towards the end, getting to hang out with the robots. I mean, yeah.
Okay. I just make sure it felt a little odd to me on that. To Matt, I know that like tonight we had you have that strong attachment to syntax. But I had the feeling that the last two sessions you've kind of shut down any KO a couple of times. Is that something that you're building towards? Is there some animosity that you haven't explicated there? It was weird tonight. There were a couple of times I got the sense that you were trying to play that out.
I'm sorry. No, I usually try and be kind of like playful with any KO, but maybe I'm pushing too hard towards what Obakai wants as a character and not kind of considering what Sherry wants to do more with the character on a player level. So maybe there's something there that I could do.
Okay, I just want to make sure it was something that I hadn't missed, or I wasn't sure about what was going on. I wasn't feeding you something that you needed there.
No, I think that might just be on me. I'm sorry, Sherry, if that was obvious to you.
I'm trying to always try to read the dynamic at the table, especially when I'm not sure. When we got these sessions that are characters changing around, I want to try and make sure, because we had Syntax back and we hadn't had him before.
Absolutely, yeah.
So those are my thorns off the top of my head. Michael, any thorns from you?
No big ones. I mean, I'd love to get into one or two more sessions next month, depending.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, I like your character a lot. I like Electra.
I like to see kind of how the stuff works at the arc itself, because I haven't spent a lot of time there. But yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things where we had the two zones, and I would have liked to have pushed us back, which we could have gone, but we got some interesting stuff here to play with. So I hope to.
I definitely wanted to keep pushing. I just kind of want to see more of the game at some point. So I'll either have to get a copy or see if I can get in any more sessions.
Yeah, I do like it. Matt, what about you? Any thorns?
No, I mean, I think for myself, I might have been a little too much into the character play stuff this session, and could have maybe just kind of, because since this is a more traditional game, it's more about getting through lots of the experiences and just kind of seeing what happens throughout the hex and stuff like that, and it doesn't always have room for pushing what your character wants to do in every scene. So
that's true. That is one of the challenges of trad, especially when we're doing the kind of the hex crawl portion of it.
But I think, yeah.
And we only have a 2.5 hours, so that's really hard. But that's a good point.
It's definitely on me too. I think you can still do that stuff, but in a way that kind of pushes the scene forwards a little bit. And I was maybe a little too loquacious this session, and just, I don't know, trying to work on my brevity a little bit.
Well, let's see if I can get more character. We're going to have interesting NPCs to interact with next time. So hopefully that will give you a chance to do that.
No. It was,
what about you, Fraser? Any thorns?
The only thing I can think of is it felt like riding a bike with the other two characters, but with Electra, I wasn't really sure how to interact with them and stuff. So that was about it, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder if I should have stopped off and maybe asked the two of you at the start what your relationship was.
Oh yeah, maybe each time there's a new person, we could do that really quickly.
That's
Just
smart.
Yeah, and then that way we're like, oh, okay, we kind of get that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try and do that from now on. That's a good point. Good observation.
I'll try and review them before each session too, because then you just, when you see them at the start, you keep that in mind while you play.
Okay. Sherry, what about you?
I'm always amused because I've played this game a bunch, and yet it is the one that I forget all the little mechanics for, drop the little thing, am slow to do the dice thing. I frustrate myself with, forgetting to do the rot points, forgetting to do the mutant points when I do damage to myself and all of those things. And it's just like, when am I going to get this straight? But it's only online that I have the problem. It's so easy when it's paper and dice in front of you. So it is a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I slowed you guys down, I apologize.
I still am slow. This die roller. I wish it was super intuitive, but it's not. Roses, I want to say, one of the things I appreciate tonight was I think everybody used their mutations. I think we got everybody. We had Obakai's camouflage. I think we had Sherry saving an NPC. We had the magnetic field there. I had the sense that, and of course the bug travel there with the wings. So sometimes when I've seen this played, the mutations don't come in as much. So it was nice to see those be there on the table and have a utility tonight. Michael, any roses?
Yeah, I really was in love with that like final encounter with the robots. I'm gonna have to ask you guys how that turns out next week, because they were so like mysterious and like funny, but also like super creepy. There's clearly like some crazy shit going on there that I just gotta know how that turns out. I find the setting as a whole like really intriguing. I mean, I might have to. I mean, I'm probably going to look into this, even if just to find out more about like what's really going on, because there's clearly like a lot of like big picture stuff, a lot of like unanswered questions. So I find the glimpses that I've gotten of this world to be really intriguing.
Yeah, there's some interesting meta plot that I do drop in bits and pieces from. I'm not World of Darkness leaning into the meta plot, but there are some interesting things going on there. And that's kind of neat to see. Matt, any roses on your side?
Yeah, definitely. I thought everybody played to their character really strongly tonight. Michael, I think you had a lot of nice statements that were kind of showed us what your character was about. And I thought that I really loved the kind of really in-depth descriptions, and almost like I was thinking of like the cinematography during like the whole ice sheet thing, like that. I just conjured a very cool image, and I thought even though we didn't move as quickly tonight as we had in other sessions, I felt like the time that we spent on those things was really added to my enjoyment, because we got kind of some really cool insights into what the world was like there in a little bit. Nice.
I'm glad to hear that. Fraser, any
had a lot of fun.
Oh,
I enjoyed all of it. I didn't find it dragging or anything, and it was really neat to come in to a brand new situation and whatnot. And I thought the arena action was really cool, and I liked that we did a pullback on that. And I thought that even the fight kind of showed how syntax had changed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, willing just to leave and be like, I've been through this shit before, I don't know about this. And then the scavenging was really fun as always, and I really liked your evocative descriptions of each hex. That was great.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you say that that idea of as combat as story, that the story that we saw with the combat before is so different from the story this time, and that really is a good way to show your character's evolution. So that's very cool.
And it fits with the setting, right? Like you won't really tend to fuck with somebody after one fight goes bad.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh no, you go learn today.
And finally, Sherry, any roses?
Yeah, I think like Fraser said, parts of this were just like riding the bike, except that of course I've played with Michael last thing, so it was all pretty smooth for me. And I'm cool when it's all pretty smooth for me. So yeah, no, this is a good game. It really does kind of run that thing of dice rolling and determining how things are going to turn out. And also you do get to play your characters and react in meaningful ways. I mean, essentially those choices that you make mechanically are huge. So it's fun.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because it actually was really nice to see Fraser throwing around so many dice for Find the Path, because that's such a key skill, and to be able to have everybody kind of support that with the equipment and stuff. So that was very nice.
Yeah, it's taken us a few sessions to actually get so that we can support each other. So we're finally getting kind of mature as a group. Mm-hmm. And so that's nice.
Well, thank you, everybody. I am going to stop the broadcast now. I guess what I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to screen share for anybody who is watching at home. I will screen share that real quick so you can see the map. We'll do that for a few minutes here. Present to everybody. Probably can't. And that's all you get. There you go. All right. So now I'm going to stop the broadcast.